everyone. I welcome you back to Food Diaries. I'm Ava, your host. And for this very special episode, I'm very glad and privileged to have a very wonderful person with us here again, Sharon Ingty. Welcome to Food Diaries once again. It is always our privilege to have you with us in Food Diaries. And for our viewers here today, I'm sure you will be excited and enthralled with what Sharon has in store for us. Right, Sharon? Okay, so let's just get started immediately. Well, Sharon, do tell our viewers what is it that you have in store for us.
So today we will be making my take on tribal pork.
Okay.
So today we have pork.
Mm-hmm.
We have our local ingmakhir,
Yeah.
and we have these red chilies.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want it more spicy, you can add the green chilies as well.
Okay.
So the first thing that we have done is,
Yeah.
this is sokuntai
Okay.
or tamarind soaked in water.
Yeah.
So if you would help me with that, Abha, can you please strain that?
You want this straight?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. And so we have the chilies here.
Yes,
Which-
the chilies and the ginger, which has already been roughly ground in the
Yeah.
mortar and pestle. In the
This
meanwhile,
is
I will
actually a
get.
first for me to, see pork being prepared this way with tamarind. Usually, it's like lemon and all that being used.
Yes. So this is my dad taught this dish to me.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So we do have it quite often here in the house,
Okay.
because my dad loves to make this dish whenever people come over,
Yeah.
because it's actually very easy.
Okay.
So as you have seen, I've
To
added
make it sound. So,
it is very easy.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you see, I've just added the pork.
yeah.
Okay. So to this we will add the salt. We'll add some salt,
Okay.
and the salt, as usual, is to taste. Some people like it.
Yeah, so
Like
as
to
per
add
taste.
more, add for taste. And this is the roughly ground ginger,
Okay.
which I'm going to be adding in now.
There goes the pork,
So
the salt and the
ginger,
right? Okay.
yes. And the ginger we took about 4 inches
Okay.
of ginger,
For how
and
much of pork?
half a kg of pork.
Okay. All right.
And we took about 10 red chilies.
Okay.
This is about 10 red chilies, which
Yeah.
we have crushed and ground.
Okay.
And we add that to this.
So Sharon, I believe this is enough.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much.
There. So this is the tamarind pulp.
Yes. So now this is all that we have to do for the pork. We've added everything here.
Okay.
We just close it
Yeah.
and let it cook.
Okay.
Okay, so the pork has been cooking for about 20 minutes, half an hour, depending on how soft you want it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We release the pressure. And the pork is cooked. You can see it's soft.
Yes. And just like I've never had, or forget even experimenting. It never occurred to me to use tamarind with pork. So this will be something very
Different.
different for me. I'm going to invent something now in my mouth. I think my palate will have a burst of a little bit of the tanginess, right?
Yes.
Will there be?
Yes,
Okay.
there should be. So to this we'll add the tamarind. And we'll mix that in. So we've added the tamarind
Yeah.
and we put the lid back on.
And this needs to be on sim for some time or high
Yeah.
heat? Or
No, on sim, just for about another 5 minutes,
Okay.
5 minutes or so.
All right.
5-10 minutes, that's it, and our dish is ready.
Wow.
Okay, so it's ready.
Mm-hmm.
Put it off, and we release the steam as usual. So that's it. This is my take on the tribal pork. Please try it. I don't know if it'll be any good, but
No, I am very sure because you have at least one of my favorite ingredient, the chili. So
and we have our local cow khasi. So we will be serving it with that.
So this is as ethnic and tribal as it can get. There's a local rice and the pork, of course, prepared in the most organic way because we do not really have any form of spice. Everything is natural. Sharon, I am so looking forward to getting a bite of this pork. Sorry, I love this part about pork. So,
Please.
This is so sumptuous. The tamarind just lifts it to a different level because it's pork, it's fatty.
Yes.
But there's tamarind, there's the zinc from the ginger, and the pungent flavor from the chilies, and all you need is just that. That is what is used. These are the only things used for the dish. Sharon, you've done a marvelous job. I shall now begin. Yes? Well, food is always incomplete for us without rice.
Yes, that's true.
I love it.
I hope you do.
With that, I will not take so much of the time because Sharon has something still in store for us. So with that, we shall get on. I don't want the plate to look, still full. I'm here to, fill myself with what you've dished, Sharon.
Please
so we
enjoy.
shall do that, and in the meantime, prep up on something else that Sharon has for us. Stay tuned. Well, just like they say, after the rain comes the sun. Also, after something nice and tangy comes something sweet. Yes, Sharon?
Yes.
Yes. This has always been my favorite part when it comes to food. That is something sweet in the mouth.
Yes.
Yes. And for that, Sharon, I leave it to you to tell our audience what is the sweet, if not very sweet thing that you'll be baking for us.
So today we have for you mulberry cupcakes.
Okay.
So these are our local mulberries.
All right.
And what we have done is we have just chopped them.
Okay.
Just cut them in half
Right.
so that they are not too small
Okay.
and not too big either.
Oh, all right.
So what we will do now, Abha, if you don't mind, is we will start
And,
measuring.
Mulberry will be the main hero
Yes,
of the dish.
yes.
It's based on mulberry.
It's based on
and
mulberry.
do we also need, can you tell us?
Okay, so,
what are the other things we need?
We have, this is unsalted butter.
Okay.
We have eggs,
Yeah.
2 eggs. We will be measuring out 100 grams of sugar,
Okay.
100 grams of flour,
Mm-hmm.
100 grams of butter,
Okay.
and we'll be putting in, this is baking powder.
All right.
It's a very basic recipe which anybody can do. So we'll start with the butter first.
Okay.
So we'll put out the butter, and for us here in Shillong, it does get quite cold.
Yes.
So the
Right.
butter
it solidifies.
Yes, it gets solid a lot. So what I usually do is I just put it on the stove for just a short while, just so that the butter softens. I don't melt it completely, not so that it
especially no burnt butter.
No.
So you just have to,
No. Yeah,
get it,
so
a
what we
little
do
liquidish.
is, we get it a little soft.
Yeah.
And as you can see, I've lifted it off the stove once it's become a little, so that it won't get burnt, as you said. And we just soften the butter. That's the main thing. We just need to soften the butter a bit. So this is actually enough. I don't want it to be absolutely melted, because if it is, then it will not come out well.
The pot is already
So,
hot, and
yes,
that will
exactly.
act,
So
as
we
medium
remove it
to
off
soften
the
butter.
fire. Yes. So we remove it off the fire and we put off the stove. As you can see, it's melted quite a bit, but it's not completely melted.
Yes.
So we want it like this, so that the warmth of the butter.
It should be just flowy.
Yes.
But it should melt completely.
No, it should be soft but not
Yes.
completely melted.
Right.
So to this now, I don't want to melt it anymore,
Okay.
because if I do, it'll become a little too runny,
Right.
our batter,
Yeah.
and we do not want that.
Yes.
So we're going to leave it at this stage right now, and to this we're going to add 100 grams of sugar,
All right.
and then we will whisk it.
Okay.
So we'll just add the sugar to this. Oops, it's got a bit more. It's okay. So that's it. So you just add a little. It's got a bit more, but that's fine. So about 100 grams of sugar, and now we whisk this together. Just keep that there. So you can see the butter is still there.
Yeah.
It's not melted completely, but once we start mixing it in, it will start dissolving. So that's it basically. And then now to this, if you don't mind, Abha, can you crack 2 eggs in here? Can crack the next one, yeah. So we whisk the eggs in. I'll give this to you now,
Yes. Oh, yes.
and I will,
You can carry on.
yes, I'll measure out 100 grams of flour.
Okay.
It's 100 grams of flour. And to the flour we will add our baking powder.
Okay.
So this is half a teaspoon, sorry.
All right.
Just mix that in.
We're done with this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Abha, can you pass me the banana?
Yes.
So most cupcakes have the sweet smell because of the vanilla.
Yeah, right.
Yes, so we're going to be adding a little bit of the vanilla essence. Just half a teaspoon. That's it.
And then
So
we also add
sorry, I don't know. So the last, we add the flour now. And we'll whisk it a little slower because we don't want to whisk it too fast. If you whisk it too fast, what happens is
be flouring yourself.
yes, but also
Come on.
actually flour has got a lot of gluten in it.
Yes.
So when you
right.
whisk it too fast, you activate the gluten,
Right.
and it becomes that clunky,
Right.
heavy.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get that texture
Yes,
because
yes.
of that. So we won't whisk the flour in too fast. We just do that slowly, and that's it.
We
This
just-
is our
So the important thing is, when you add the flour, it's just to combine the
Yes,
batter, not
it
to
is.
whisk it
No,
anymore.
no,
Okay, it's
we do
just
not.
gently combine
Yes.
the batter.
That's what we do. And then the last and our hero ingredient, as you said,
Oh yes.
is the mulberry. So when we put the mulberry in, the secret to the mulberry not blending and bleeding its color into the mixture
Okay.
is to fold it.
Yes.
So we just fold it in gently so that it does not get bruised and
Right.
mix its color too much with the batter. Although we can't help some of the color coming out, it won't be too blue
You
or black.
can't avoid all this
Yes.
altogether, but
And-
it's gently folding it
Yes.
because you don't want the mulberries to
Yes.
crush into smaller little pieces.
Exactly.
Also, right.
So that's it.
Okay.
This is it. This is our mixture.
Alright.
So now all that is left to do is to put our mixture
Right.
into the molds. So we need the cupcake molds and these little cupcake papers which we have placed in here. So we just spoon the mixture into the molds. Try to fill it up about 2/3 of the way
Okay.
so that you'll get nice bigger
Mm-hmm.
ones, but depends on how many people you have to feed.
Right.
If you want
True.
more, then we put in a little less batter.
So apples are a little chunky. They have a bite in them.
Yes.
So they need to be cut in very
Smaller,
pieces.
yes, they have
Okay.
to be cut smaller so that you won't get too much of a bite of when you have the.
Right.
You can use a similar, if you're wanting to put apples, you can cut them into strips and bake it in a proper
Right.
cake tin
Yeah.
and not in the muffin
Okay.
molds, not in
Right.
muffin molds.
Which is why the apple pies and all that,
Yes.
they go well with the fruit.
Yes.
But for such things as mulberries, strawberries,
Actually, mulberry
blueberries,
pie is also very delicious.
yeah. Okay. Well, please, I'm going to keep that a note, and that will be something that I would want to see firsthand from you again. Mulberry pie.
Sure, next time.
Yes, always.
And that is it. That's the end of our batter. So divide this here so that it won't be too less.
That's it.
That's it. So we'll put these into the oven to bake at 180
Okay.
for 15 minutes. You don't need to put these in for very
Alright.
long. They just take 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay. Well, viewers, I've been waiting here and it's been 15 minutes of wait. Oh, here comes Sharon. And
So
the cupcakes have turned out to be really good to look at. I won't say taste because I know it's going to be amazing. And Sharon, what are you going to do next with them?
So now what we will do is we'll do a cream cheese icing.
Okay.
So here we have the cream cheese. We have a little bit of Amul cream, and we have icing sugar. That's all we need, and of course vanilla essence. Yeah, that's all we need for the icing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the cream cheese and put it into our mixing bowl. Now to this I'll add a little bit of vanilla. I'm just going to add only a little bit because I don't want it to be too strong, the smell, too pungent.
Or to overpower
Exactly.
the taste of
The mulberries.
cupcake and the mulberries.
Yes. So we just add a little bit of that. And the next step is the icing sugar. So I'm going to sieve the icing sugar in. This is only because, you know, there are lumps sometimes in the icing sugar.
Yes, yes.
And so to avoid those lumps, we will be sieving it. And we're going to add not too much sugar because you know, the cupcake will already be a little sweet, so we don't want to add in too much sugar to make it too sweet. So I'm just going to add in about a teaspoon or so. I mean a tablespoon. It looks a lot here, but since we are sieving it,
Yes, right.
it won't be too much. So just whatever. And we,
We have that. Yeah.
yes, thank you. Again, just a little bit of cream. So I have a piping bag here, and this is called a star shaped nozzle, if you can see. So we take the piping bag in our hand, and I'll give this to you, Abha.
Use this.
Yes, I'll use the spatula and fill the mixture into the piping bag. That's it. We just test it out, and we pipe our cupcakes. The last bit that we will do, so this is ready, this is done, and then we give our finishing touch, which is the mulberries. So we just take and we place them on top like that. You can help me if you want.
Yes, yes, yes. I'd love to.
And on top of this, I'll give another final, just a little bit of sprinkling of the icing sugar. That's it.
Well, we have the final product here on the plate of small mini products, the mulberry cupcake. And all this, the credit for all this goes to Sharon Ingty. You have shown us right from scratch on how to get cupcakes as beautiful looking as the ones you've just made. And well, what do we do now?
Please
We
dig
do
in.
not look at the cupcake. We take the cupcake, and well, this is for you.
Thank you.
All right, and we take a bite. Sorry, this is so awesome. The mulberries inside have not lost their originality. That's the best thing. You can actually taste the fresh mulberry pieces inside. This is awesome. Thank you, Sharon, for being here at Food Diaries. It has been a marvelous time spending time with you here, and I'm sure for our viewers as well. Well, for what you've seen, I think this has been worth your time with us here at Food Diaries. Well, Sharon, it's been a privilege to have you. I'm really glad to always have you. Maybe in future we shall have you again at Food Diaries.
Thank you so much.
So, with that, we thank our viewers for being with us. And with me, Abha, here as your host. It's bye-bye.